It is the 12th of October 2024 in Värmland, Sweden, where we are looking for a specific kind of mushroom. It is going by several names: the yellow foot, the golden chanterelle, trumpet chanterelle, and quite a few others. This is the time for them when most of the more well-known and easily found mushrooms such as the chanterelle and the penny bun are gone. Now it is time to move on to the late season ones, even though there are still quite a few mushrooms about at this time, as I'm sitting here in a recently thinned out spruce plantation. Recently being, well, what was it, 4 years ago or thereabouts. So there's quite a bit of remains of the cutting still on the ground, rotting down, of course, over the years, and this and the fact that it was quite mushroom rich even before the thinning means that there are quite a few species. Let's have a look at a few. And here we got to the right spot. The obvious ones, the orange ones, are hedgehog fungus in a not really perfect state anymore. You may be able to see what I'm looking for: the trumpet chanterelles, the yellow foot, yellow feet. And in this kind of setting, they are actually quite easy to see. They are known to be that kind of mushroom which you just don't see even when you're looking for them until you do, if that makes sense. In a less green environment, so not so much moss on the ground as here perhaps, they can actually blend in with a more brown underground so well that you might be right in the middle of a whole field of them and just don't notice them until your eye adjusts, and then suddenly you see them everywhere. In this case, this is quite a nice field. There are many of them, some really quite small like these. That is on the small side, but many of them, and coming in quite different sizes. So this is a bit more useful already. And here we go, yellow foot, that is now quite clear. The trumpet might be quite clear as well. You can see the stem is hollow and you can peep right into it from above. So if you cut them off at the base, you can use them as a funnel. And in Swedish, it's called chanterelle, which is funnel chanterelle. And yeah, that is why. Let's just have a quick look at how widespread they are in this little area. It does seem as if someone has already been harvesting here. That might be human, or it might be a kind of animal, but they are to be found here in little groups over a large area. I'm not that interested in the very small ones at this time. If the weather holds for a while, if it doesn't get too cold too quickly, then those that are still small right now may well become big in a bit of time. So then it would be better to come back for them later. I tend to make a point of never picking everything of whatever mushroom I'm gathering. just so that others, humans or not, will have some left to pick as well. For the health of the mycelium, which is connected to tree roots to work together with them, the trees provide sugars to the mushrooms, and the mushrooms nutrients and or minerals and water to the tree. I think the mycelium will not be hurt significantly even if I were to pick everything. But if a few mushrooms remain behind, then at least they will be able to release more spores, which then may give rise to more mushrooms, more colonies, more different fields being colonized in the future, which is not a bad thing, obviously. So after gathering, the mushrooms are cleaned, which is fairly easy with these ones. You just take a little bit off the bottom of the stem off, prepared for dehydration in that machine. And a few hours later, they ought to be ready. Very ready. Ready to be packaged and sold.